Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to the video. This is Fishman Log number 133. And before I get into a full Fishman tour for you guys, I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hopefully you guys get to have some time off, spend some quality time with your friends and family, and yeah, just relax. So this is the 7-foot tank, the one that I keep promising that I'm going to renovate and get nice and decorated, and of course get it set up so these guys can pair off and breed and all that sort of stuff. And of course, I have not yet got to it. It gets its regular water changes, and it does require, as you can see here, a couple of filters that need to be cleaned. Mostly just get the algae off of the lids for the high humidity planters. But, well, actually this one needs a little bit of a pruning too. But they still work. They're still functioning quite well, and the tank's nice and clean. This tank runs on those two filters, and I never have any issues with it at all, so I'm not too concerned about their health. Just want to get it looking nicer. Lots of plants in there, of course. Then again, it does look a lot nicer than this tank. This tank never gets any cleaning at all. I don't think I've cleaned it since I set it up. And that is, well over a decade ago anyway. So they breed, they do well. It has a sump for a filter, and I just let it run. Those convicts are going to come out because I want to breed them before they get too old. And this is the colony of Johanni that, they just sort of spawned, and then all the fry stayed in one corner. And I thought, well, maybe I should take them out, maybe I shouldn't. And then I just left them there. And they all grew up quite nicely and doing really well. And I guess I didn't need to take it out at all. Anyone who caught my short, the Corbensis had spawned and had a nice school of fry. And at this point, I'm not entirely sure if there's any of them in there. I think they may have eaten them. I'm not sure, but I'll give it a good check in the next little while. I'll have a look and see if there's anything in there. I keep meaning to renovate this, but it's doing really well now. It's not pretty. It doesn't look as nice as this one, but it keeps that tank nice and clean. Oh, it's only a pair of Corbensis in there, of course, but it's fine. So if I ever find time, I will get to that. I have caught up quite a bit on my aquarium maintenance in the fish room. This tank is much better now. It was full of mulm, and it's just getting down to a bare minimum now. This hornwort is getting out of hand. It is causing enough of a block of light from the top that the Vallisneria is not growing very well. But again, one of those things that I have to get to. Pruning plants is ongoing and continues. It's just one of the things you always have to do. As you see, these are the pond guppies. They're beginning to mature now, and they're doing quite well. I think, to tell you the truth, considering our fluctuating temperatures in the spring and stuff like that, them staying inside is much better for them. These are the Zebradanios, and their tank next door where they're going to get moved to for breeding, and they're doing really well. I'm very happy with them. It's just time. That's always the crux of things. I really like this tank. This is the Gardner Achille tank. There's tons of them in here now, and they're very happy. They don't kill each other. That name is just a name. It has nothing to do with their aggression or anything. But sometimes they can be a little aggressive males with each other, but these guys just seem to get along. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you the bottom row because there's a bunch of stuff in front of it right now, but I will show you these. I mean, you've seen them all before. Right below this is a killifish tank that's breeding. I need to redo that one, but it's fine. And these guys here, the Hap Boileri, they're doing really well. There's a pair of platies in that tank. And in here, these angels are getting quite large. They're doing really well. And I think, again, when I find some time, I want to, of course, start breeding them. And that's the Leopardanios that are growing up quite nicely. And this last week I showed you this. These are all set up now. Obviously, the live cultures are fine. That plant needs to obviously be cut back and some cuttings taken off of it. And of course, because of the issues with the paludarium, this thing is just crammed full of plants now. It's okay. I mean, the fish are fine. The sump is really large on this, so it can handle the extra. Plants are fine that way. I mean, it keeps it stable enough that there isn't really any issues. And the guppies are doing really well. A little cramped, I suppose, but again, it's only a temporary thing. And once we get that all straightened out again, I will, get them to the point where they have some more space. And these are the goldfish, the little colony. I have a client who wants a few goldfish. I'm not sure if these are the ones I'm going to give to them, because, I mean, this group gets along really well, and I may want to breed them again. I'm not sure. We'll see. But this tank doesn't get any attention at all. As you can see, the filters are quite old and well worn. They just get water changes, and that stays nice and stable. So that's a nice group of fish. These are the guppies that I like, and they're doing well. I mean, these, obviously, I mean, remember about 2 weeks ago now, I did a big prune on all this, and you can't really tell what I did. I mean, it's all growing back again. It's one of those things I just have to keep on doing. The planters for these, I see, are filling up quite nice, especially the one on the left with the pearlweed. The experiment is very neck and neck, really. There isn't much of a difference between these two, and that's perfectly fine as well. Of course, if you remember, one is being run by a box filter, one's being run by another gravel filter, and again, they're both doing really well. Guppies and cories in here, and more prunings needed. These are all black skirt tetras, and a whole pile of red Luigia, and it's being filtered by this. This is my new version of the leak-proof canister filter. It's doing really well. I'm not having issues with it, except it's got a whole pile of duckweed in it now. Might at some point get that out of there, but again, it's one of those ongoing things that I just never seem to find enough time for to get it so that it's, you know, mostly gone. There's a whole pile of shrimp in here underneath the Java fern. Not going to bother trying to root them out to show you. They're mostly like just hiding underneath there, and I'm still keeping an eye on it just in case I can spot some shrimplets. So far, nothing really new going on in it. It still has that one rice fish, and it's growing nicely, but again, not sure if I'm going to keep rice fish ongoing. There's so many more other things that I need. And this is one of the last aquariums that needs to be cleaned. I keep doing water changes on it, of course, to keep ahead of all the food that the plecos are being fed, but it needs a little TLC for sure. But again, it is much better looking than these four tanks. These tanks here I have to redo. They were originally, well, I was growing Daphne in the top two tanks, and they were sort of an auto feed into the other ones for fry. Never worked out well, so I'm going to switch that over to just keeping fish, and well, there you go. This is my entire fish room, really, except a few tanks in the bottom I didn't get to show you. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave comments, and have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you in the next video, and bye for now.